I am awake this morning and moving, and I've been for a walk, and it is hot out there, just so you know. Of course, it's July, so, you know. And I stayed up too late because, I don't know, I just, yesterday was awesome and exhausting. Because we had our first in-person service, and it was exciting, and it was weird, because for 16 months there was a very small crew, and where it really hit me that there were people in the room was because I had my back to the room. I was sitting up in the front, and I was watching the I was watching both the camera and the stream on the computer, and then watching Danielle on the stage as well while she was doing the inner healing. And the first time she said, and now I say, and then she said whatever it is, like I surrender, I acknowledge, whatever. And there were voices behind me that responded, and there were a lot of them, and it was just, there are people here. And then when I got up to do the closing, I honestly was nervous. I had butterflies, and I hadn't had that in a while, and I was just like, what? And so I told him, I was like, I'm nervous. There are people in the room. Just, and it was awesome, and it was amazing, and overall it went really well, and the people in the room were respectful of the experience that people in the online were having, and so it went really well, and the musicians were thrilled to have people back in the room. And I know that all of us were happy to have people back in the room. And then, yeah. So, and then we all probably went home and collapsed. Like I knew I was gonna take a nap. I didn't expect to fall asleep as early, in the afternoon as I did. But then after I took the nap and went into editing the video, it sounded really good. Like you could hear the people in the seats, but it wasn't intrusive. You could hear them respond, you could hear them laugh, but at no time did they drown out the speakers or the musicians or anything. So it was really good. It was really good. So I think we got a plan going forward. All right, it is July 12th. Our title is I Am Success. Our Bible quote is, "They that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing." Psalm 34:10. Success does not mean the accumulation of wealth, the maintenance of position, nor a supremacy of power. Success means a life free from the burden of anxiety and liberated from the thraldom of fear. There is no successful life without peace, and without that inner spiritual certainty that knows that the soul is on the pathway of good, forever expanding into the conscious union of God within man. Today, I expect every good thing to come to me. Everything that is worthy of the soul, I anticipate. Everything that belongs to the Spirit, I accept. Everything that partakes of the nature of the divine reality, I claim as my own. Today, I identify myself with abundance and success. I know that my destiny is divine, that my destination is certain, that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. I know that this kingdom contains everything necessary to my well-being. In gratitude and with joy, I receive this kingdom into myself. I live in the consciousness of success. I awaken its greater possibilities within my imagination. I feel it at the center of my being. My whole consciousness expands, and my enthusiasm glows with the heat of divine fire. There can be no obstruction to my success. Every path is open before me, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. All right. So right there in that first paragraph, it's a little short one. It's 3 paragraphs. which they typically are. They typically are 3 paragraphs. He says, success means a life free from the burden of anxiety and liberated from the thraldom of fear. Okay? Have you ever heard that definition of success before? Probably not. Probably not. But that's it. Whatever else materially comes with that is great and fine and whatever. So stuff. Whatever comes with that. But the problem is frequently stuff creates fear and anxiety. Because the more stuff you have, then you have to protect it. So where's that balance? Where's that and that's what I love about Buddhism is Buddhism says Buddhism says it doesn't say not to own anything. That's not what Buddhism says. What Buddhism says is let nothing own you. So that's that middle road. If you're gonna have stuff, then you can't be afraid to lose it. If you're gonna have people in your life, you can't be afraid to lose them. Because people come and go in your life. Stuff comes and goes in your life. And it's the fear of losing it that is the problem. So at no time is Ernest saying you can't have stuff. But he is directly saying that stuff isn't the measure of success. The measure of success is no anxiety and no fear. So you can have all the stuff you want as long as it does not create anxiety and fear, which is where we get Marie Kondo, where you hold something up and does it spark joy? Well, does it spark joy or does it spark fear? And if it sparks fear, what are you going to do about it? It doesn't mean you have to get rid of it, but you have to make a decision there. That's any of us who have pets, we know what that's like. They live a certain amount of time and it's not as long as we do. They're going to leave us. You hit a certain age, and people start to leave. And I don't mean they move across the country, because that happens. I mean, one of my dearest friends moved from here to San Antonio to Austin to Utah. I still can talk to him. And recently, my aunt made the decision to leave the planet. So now I can't call her. I can't send her funny cards. But so where do you put that? Where do you put that? Jesse was talking yesterday, and if you didn't see it, it was okay. He did a lot of thank yous, but there was one thing where he talked about the backdrop of happy, and it makes it easier for us to grieve, because the grief is in sharp relief. The grief is in sharp relief. But the backdrop is happy, because I'm happy that I have had these people in my life. My friend who moved across the country technically is still in my life. I still communicate with him regularly. Regularly for me. My pets, my husband and I have had a new number of cats, and it hurts when they leave, when it's time for them to go. But I wouldn't choose not to have them. Because the happy that I have while they're in my life, and the happy that I remember even after they're gone. And, you can't put that. You can't even put that on your family when they make their transitions into their next evolution. So that's what it is. Anxiety and fear. Let nothing own you. You can own stuff, but let nothing own you. If you can let go of the fear of people leaving, then you won't be afraid to love. All right. Not sure where I got off onto there, but all right, there we are. So I am success. They that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing, because they're looking for something beyond the material. They say that once you get to a certain age, you stop collecting stuff and you start collecting experiences. Why don't we start earlier doing that? And that's part of the reason why I started running. Don't get me wrong, I love the running t-shirts, and I enjoy the heck out of them. But it was the experience of running the races. That's why I did it, and that's why soon I will go back to doing it. My first one may be that Thanksgiving one, though. So, success does not mean the accumulation of wealth, the maintenance of position, nor the supremacy of power. He says it doesn't mean that, but he never says it's not included. So, success means a life free from the burden of anxiety and liberated from the thraldom of fear. There is no successful life without peace or without the inner spiritual certainty which knows that the soul is on the pathway of good. The inner spiritual certainty that knows that the soul is on the pathway of good, forever expanding into a conscious union of God within people. Okay? We know that the soul doesn't belong to us because we are the soul. It is what we are. We are souls that have bodies, not bodies that have souls. The soul doesn't belong to us. It is ever expanding, ever moving on, ever moving up. Up and in, further in and further up. That's C.S. Lewis. And that's what the soul is doing. It's what we are. It's what we are. Today, I expect every good thing to come to me. Everything that is worthy of the soul, I anticipate. And that is people and places and things and experiences and connections and relationships. And it can mean stuff too. We are not aesthetics. Everything that belongs to the Spirit, I accept. What belongs to the Spirit? Love, peace, harmony, joy, creativity, happiness. All of that. I accept all of that. Everything that partakes of the nature of the divine reality, I claim as my own. That creativity, that peace and that love, I claim that. Today, I identify myself with abundance and success. I have everything I need, and I am not anxious or afraid. I know that my destiny is divine, that my destination is certain. I know that my destiny is divine. I know that our destiny is divine, because that's what we are. We are made from divine stuff. And our destination is certain, because we're going to go back to that which made us. Right now, we are a centralized, individualized, divine distribution center. But we are part of a greater oversoul. Ugh, Emerson. We're part of a greater oversoul. Our soul belongs to something bigger. And that is an amazing feeling. That the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. It is always available. Always available. I know that this kingdom contains everything necessary to my well-being. Everything necessary to our well-being. In gratitude and with joy, I receive this kingdom into myself. If I have the kingdom within me, then when I meet other people, they can meet that kingdom. They can see that heaven, and they can say, what does she know that I don't know? Well, the one thing I know is I know who I am. I am a beloved child of God. And I know that about you too. And if I know that about you, then you can know that about you. And then you can also carry the kingdom of heaven within you, because you already do. You just may not be aware of it. And there are times that I forget that I carry my kingdom of heaven within me. And somebody reminds me. I live in the consciousness of success. I awaken its greater possibility within my imagination. I know a better world. I know a better world. I know a better world for everyone. I feel it at the center of my being. My whole consciousness expands and my enthusiasm glows with the heat of divine fire. Our whole enthusiasm glows with the heat of divine fire. There can be no obstruction to our success. Every path is open before us. And, open quotes, I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever, close quotes. I mean, how is that for a mission? If I said our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to dwell in the house of the Lord forever, how would that make you feel? Well, we're going to find out, because that's the mission for today. To dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And how do we do that? By remembering that success isn't about stuff, that it's about being free from the burden of anxiety and liberated from the thraldom of fear. That is what success is. So you can have all the stuff you want. You can. But as the Buddha said, let nothing own you. Let nothing own you. Walk with a light step. Hold with a light hand. Let people be who they are. Because in the end, we all know who we are. We are beloved children of God in whom God is well pleased. Always and forever. It is a state of grace. And it is a grace in the kingdom of heaven that lives right here, right now, right where you are. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move into the process of my day, but I'm going to encourage you, as I always do. Do something loving for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like to you. It can be getting out and going for a walk. It can be taking a nap. It can be cleaning. Whatever it is that is kind, compassionate, and loving to yourself. The more you practice on yourself, the more you will have for other people. That's the way it works. You deserve your own loving, kind compassion. All right. It's going to be warm, but it's July, as I have said. It is July. So if you're gonna go engage your mind in your body, do it early. Do it early. Go get that face full of sun. The clouds are still. We've got storms north of us, so we may or may not get any rain. We don't know. They're giving us a chance of rain every day this week, but it's not like it was last week when it pretty much rained every day last week. We might see some sun, but that means it's going to be warmer this week than it was last week. It is what it is. It's a trade-off, right? So do what you need to do to take care of yourself. You know, drink plenty of water, get that face full of sun, engage your mind and your body. Do what you need to do to have a good day, a great day, a fantastic day, a wonderful day. And if that's too much, then just have a day. That's good too. All right. While you are doing all of that, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven now. You carry the kingdom of heaven within you. And it really is about redefining success for yourself. Knowing that the release of the burden of anxiety goes a long way. Goes a long way. Yeah. And do what you need to do that. So, there are steps that we all take to reduce our anxiety, because trust me, I know. I have been medicated for anxiety, and that was one of the best decisions I ever made, was to take the medication, to remember what normal felt like. to let go of that anxiety. So trust me, I am an advocate. If you need the medication, take the medication, because there is nothing like being able to let go of that anxiety. So yeah, yep. That's why I exercise. That's why I run. That's why I try and eat pretty decent. That's why I get that face full of sun in the morning, to keep those hormones clicking along, to reduce that anxiety. All right. I could totally get on a soapbox about anxiety and depression. So if you have watched any of these, I'm sure you have heard me talk about it before. Yep. All right, beloveds. Know that you are loved. Know that you are valued. Know that you are a beloved child of God. And know that it is Monday. So there is a book study today. And it is at, I believe it's at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're interested in that, get on the email info@creativelife.org. And then that way you can get the link for, because they do that on Zoom. And then you can get on the email list and see all the stuff that we do during the week, because there's always stuff going. Reverend David should be on sometime around 5. I'll be back with you at 9 a.m. Do what you need to do to make it a wonderful day, and know that you are loved. All right, beloveds? Have a wonderful day.